Goswami on the debate.
On the show tonight, the direct political connections of the Pakistan's ruling establishment with the Lashkar-e-Toiba and the terrorist groups, all on tape. At 8:30 p.m. tonight, the government notifies important rules to activate the Unified Military Command as Pakistan admits it was hit by precision BrahMos strikes. And at 9 p.m. tonight, while the Congress party continues to reach the lowest point after Jairam Ramesh, who is Rahul Gandhi's right-hand man, compares terrorists to the all-party delegations going around the world. And ladies and gentlemen, we must all focus on the visuals which have come in today. And these are visuals which show the direct link between the Pahalgam terror attack and the entire political establishment of Pakistan, the ruling party establishment of Pakistan. And the visuals I'm talking about are at a Lashkar-e-Toiba rally, where you see the mastermind of the Pahalgam attack. His name is Saifullah Kasuri, and he's sharing the stage with the Speaker of the Punjab Assembly, Malik Ahmad Khan, as well as Talha Saeed, who is the son of Hafiz Saeed. And ladies and gentlemen, we must understand that Malik Muhammad Ahmad Khan, who has been seen in these visuals with Hafiz Saeed's son, and Hafiz Saeed's number 2, who is Saifullah Kasuri. This man is a close aide of Shehbaz Sharif, a very senior leader of the PMLN, and he has held key roles, including that of law minister. So viewers, you have a highest level politician from the ruling party of Pakistan sitting and congratulating the efforts of the Pahalgam attack mastermind, whose name is Saifullah Kasuri. In the meeting, ladies and gentlemen, they were seen praising each other, and Shehbaz Sharif's right-hand man is this fellow. Ladies and gentlemen, his name is Malik Ahmad Khan. He's the Speaker of the Punjab Assembly. So what the Pakistanis have decided now that they have Turkey's support and China's support and Azerbaijan's support, is to throw caution to the wind and go public with the link between the political establishment in Pakistan and the terrorist infrastructure in Pakistan. Even an attempt at deniability, what they used to call earlier, we are state actors, these are non-state actors, all of this has been completely disregarded. In fact, this process began quite a few days back after Pahalgam, when the Pakistanis admitted through their defense minister that they have been doing the dirty work for America for a very long time. I'm sure you remember this.
We have been doing this dirty work for the United States for about 3 decades, and West, including Britain. And we suffered for that.
So what you have is an extraordinary situation, viewers, where the political establishment of a country openly admits that it is in league with terrorist groups, and the terrorist groups and the government work together. And they justify it in different ways depending upon the political weather or the geostrategic global weather. Remember the visuals of Hafiz Abdul Rauf. He's a US-sanctioned terrorist, brother of the Jaish-e-Mohammed chief Masood Azhar. Remember these pictures of him with all the coffins of the terrorists killed, draped in the national flag of Pakistan, and senior Pakistani military figures carrying the coffins. Among those people are Lieutenant General Fayaz Hussain Shah and Major General Rao Imtiaz Sartaj. They were in attendance. That time we had said it's the military leadership of Pakistan and the terrorists who are together. Now it's also the civilian leadership of Pakistan and the terrorists, ladies and gentlemen, who are together. So it is all quite very much in the open. And why is it in the open? Because Pakistan has now realized that there is a huge threat from India. They are admitting that the BrahMos carried out strong and precision strikes on Pakistan. They've been denying this for the last few days. Now that they realize India is very strong, has carried out terrible precision strikes, they've said, let's all come together anyway. Let Erdogan and the terrorists and Hafiz Saeed, Erdogan, terrorist Azerbaijan, Shehbaz Sharif all come together. Let's forget all these technical divides between state and non-state actors and admit we are actually all one. And look at the terror on Shehbaz Sharif's face when in Azerbaijan earlier today he made the admission that he was hit very badly by the BrahMos.
Before that hour reached, India again launched missile attacks, BrahMos, and hit Pakistan's various provinces, including airport in Rawalpindi and other places.
So that's another important development today. The point I'm trying to make on top of the program this evening, and I'll lead into the news report with this, is that Pakistan is today no longer believing that it has to draw a difference between terrorist groups, military, and civilian leadership. Given the situation and given India's strength, they've decided they might as well all come together. I wouldn't be surprised tomorrow if Dawood Ibrahim joins their mix officially. Let's debate.
India is unmasking Pakistan's terror face across the globe with credible evidence. India's demand is clear. Put Pakistan back on the FATF grey list.
We have requested them when the delegation had met that they must ensure that Pakistan must be brought back in FATF grey list. That is where we will be able to control this terror financing of all these terrorist organizations. And do you know that when this person was made the field marshal in Pakistan, a US designated terrorist called Muhammad Ehsan was sitting right beside the field marshal. There is a clear-cut evidence of Pakistan's involvement. These terrorist groups are prospering over there. They are being trained over there. And their whole task is to destabilize India, to create more Hindu-Muslim riots in India.
Amidst this, Pakistan once again scored a big self-goal. Watch the visuals carefully on your screens. The man you see is named Saifullah Kasuri. He is one of the top commanders of the band Lashkar-e-Toiba. The same Lashkar whose headquarters we blew up just days ago. Kasuri is believed to be the mastermind of the Pahalgam terror attack. And now, less than 20 days after the ceasefire understanding, this terrorist has resurfaced at a political rally in Lahore. Yesterday, this elite terrorist was spotted cordially sharing stage with Malik Ahmed Khan, the Speaker of Pakistan's Provincial Assembly of Punjab, the same Punjab that Shehbaz Sharif was once the Chief Minister of. Not just that, sharing the terror-ridden stage was also son of global designated terrorist Hafiz Saeed. His name is Tala Saeed. This is the single biggest piece of evidence and self-admission of Pakistan of its unabated support to JEM and LET since Operation Sindoor. It's as if it wasn't enough for the world to see how Pakistan Army accorded state funeral to JEM terrorist in Muridke just weeks ago. Pakistan has once again exposed itself as state sponsor of terror. The world watched LET terrorist Abdul Rauf lead the funeral with Pakistan's IB Corps commander Lieutenant General Fayaz Hussain Shah, GOC of the 11th Infantry Division Major General Rao Imran Sartaj, Brigadier of 15 High Mech Brigade Mohammad Furqan Shabir, the IG of Punjab Police Usman Anwar, and Pakistan Punjab Assembly member Malik Shoaib Ahmed in attendance. With LET's top terrorists sharing political stages now freely in Pakistan once again, has Pakistan clearly accepted its state role in orchestrating the Pahalgam terror attack?
Absolutely A++ panel with us tonight, and Ambassador G. Parthasarathy, he knows Pakistan so well. Oh, yeah. He's been there, he has a lived experience and an understanding, he's incredible. Ambassador Parthasarathy, thank you so much. With you is Ambassador Deepak Vora and also Tilak Deveshwar. So it's a very informed panel. Thank you very much. Ambassador Parthasarathy, these visuals that we have seen today, and I'd like to play them as I ask you the question, of Saifullah Kasuri, who is the Pahalgam Mastermind, along with the Speaker of the Punjab Assembly, Malik Ahmed Khan, and Hafiz Saeed, and Hafiz Saeed's son, they're all together. So does this prove that they've thrown caution to the winds, or that they've just become very open and brazen about the link between the political establishment, the military establishment, and the terrorist establishment? Mr. Parthasarathy, did you hear that? No, I was now told the call is dropped. I'll put that question to Tilak Deveshwar ji then. Tilak Deveshwar, can I throw that question to you, please?
Yes, I think so. I think it's those visuals tell a story. You know that you have the army standing behind a terrorist. Now you have the politician. And as you mentioned in your introductory remarks, he's from the Pakistan Muslim League Nawaz, whose chief minister, Maryam Nawaz is the chief minister of Punjab, and Shehbaz Sharif is the prime minister of Pakistan. He is from their party.
Let me know.
So you have the political leadership, you have the military leadership, and you have these terrorists who, by the way, are UN proscribed terrorists. All of them on one stage. It just shows the brazenness of Pakistan. I think they have thrown caution to the wind, and they have decided now, for whatever reason, maybe the fact that the army chief has become a field marshal, that now they think they can get away and do whatever they like. I mean, this is something for the international community to get up and take notice, for the UN, and especially for the Financial Action Task Force, to really take Pakistan to task, because the reason they got off the Financial Action Task Force was because they instituted several measures, including ring-fencing some of these known terrorists, like Hafiz Saeed, putting him behind in house arrest and so on and so forth. But now they've all come out, coming out of their burrows, as it were, and in full public glare. I think it is also meant to reassure the people of Pakistan that, look, we did not have a decisive defeat. Everything is okay. Our jihadis are very much in control. They will be back in business, so you don't have to worry about it. It is also reassuring the jihadis that, we haven't let you down. I know you've taken a beating in Muridke and in Bahawalnagar, but you are back. We are back to supporting you. Yeah. But I think it is a disaster for Pakistan itself.
That's true. I'll check the audio link with Ambassador Parthasarathy again, if I may. Okay, not yet there. Okay, Deepak Vora, this question comes up that when we saw the visuals of the funeral of the terrorists after our first attacks on the 6th, and when we struck Muridke, I think that time Hafiz Abdul Rauf, can we run those visuals, producers? He's brother of Hafiz Saeed, he's leading the funeral, along with General Fayaz Hussain Shah and General Rao Imtiaz Sartaj. Can I run the visuals, please? They were all in attendance. When we saw those pictures, we thought, and there was a discussion on it, we're now going around the world and saying, see, these people are all together. Now, despite this proof going out, obviously, which must be having some impact on the people who are seeing this, because visuals don't lie, the Pakistanis are going ahead brazenly. Is it because of Trump's I give a damn about terrorists attitude? Because Trump is now doing business even with the Syrians who are led by terrorists.
Well, thank you very much, sir. Always wonderful to be on your amazing channel. And of course, I've just heard what Mr. Tilak Deveshwar said. Nobody can match his knowledge and eloquence. He's outstanding. I'm looking forward to hearing what Ambassador Parthasarathy, who's also a legend in our service, has to say. Pakistan, I would describe as a sociopathic country. A sociopath is a person who doesn't care about the opinion of others. He's gone beyond that. I go destroy people, I kill people, I become totally unfeeling. That's what they've become. The term that people use is, other countries have a military, Pakistan has a military that owns the country. But more than that, I'd add one more line, Pakistan has terror tanzeems that own the military, that owns the country. So they don't really care, because Donald Trump is a deal maker. As long as he gets $1 from wherever, even from hell, he'll sup with the devil, sir. He doesn't care. And I think Pakistan is being encouraged by this, thinking that they'll get away They'll brazen it out. It doesn't matter. We are terrorists. You guys don't behave. I'll unleash a few tanzeems with dirty bombs on you. It's a death wish, sir, which I'm seeing right now in Pakistan. No country in the world, I'm 74 years young, 52 years in diplomacy and counting. I haven't seen this kind of brazenness by any country, any government in the world. I don't care what you think. That's the approach.
I don't care. I don't care what you think. It doesn't touch me.
There you are.
It doesn't matter to me. Now, therefore, let's look at the bigger context, Mr. Parthasarathy. So far, there was at least a moral dilemma for the world when it came to Pakistan. We may have used them for their strategic reasons or whatever, but we cannot justify supporting a country which openly supports terrorism. But now, sir, America doesn't care about it. Trump doesn't care. China doesn't care. Russia is quiet. No powerful country in the world is really, I mean, we're sending our all-party delegations around the world, but it isn't having that impact among the big nations. And Pakistan has said, we are going to brazen it out now. Who says these people are terrorists? We don't consider Hafiz Saeed a terrorist. What are our alternatives then, sir, diplomatically speaking?
Look, let us face one important fact which you are all missing. The fact of the matter is that the family of US President Trump have reached a widespread economic agreement for exploring the resources and utilizing the resources of Pakistan. The agreement has been signed by the Pakistan government and by the Americans company which is linked to the president. So Pakistan is not going to face any sort of pressure now. If the President of the United States family is making money from Pakistan, then what is to be expected from Pakistan? And this is a fact we seem to have missed out. But having said that, even we may not sort of get this sort of sympathy and understanding. But the Pentagon has its views, and they have been very keen. They have seen the very effective use of weapons we have produced in the last run out when we gave a hammering to the Pakistanis across the country. So you are into this situation, the American situation. Trump didn't turn aside suddenly and start becoming a votary of peace. He was signed an agreement with the Pakistanis, his family, to make money out of resources of Pakistan. So you are into a more complicated situation as far as the Americans are concerned. But I think Americans also have balancing organizations like the Senate and the Congress. I'm sure with Jaishankar and the others, we'll deal with that, because I have personally dealt with the US Congress, and they don't particularly go along with the wrong decisions of the president. But as I said, the sudden change of tone by Trump was only to be expected when his son is dealing with getting contracts in Pakistan for minerals and resources.
Can we not expose that to put pressure back on the Americans and use that as a lever?
I'm sure that between Jaishankar and the embassy, and I've worked in the embassy, we can certainly influence the US Congress about what is happening and what their worthy president is doing.
But can we not use, if America uses trade as a lever, Deepak Vora, going by what Ambassador Parthasarathy has said, should we not use trade as a lever too? Why don't we tell the Americans that, look here, you have decided to effectively legitimize state-sponsored terrorism from Islamabad, and we cannot sign a deal with you unless you give us a firm position on it. We can't be just giving in all the time.
Makes a lot of sense, because I do believe that after China closed its doors, we are a huge market for the Americans, 140 crore people with growing purchasing power, already the fourth largest, I believe, third largest economy in the world. I believe, as a regression analyst, we've overtaken Germany already. So what this makes eminent sense to tell them, look, you want to trade with me, and your president has been saying, I used the trade threat in order to get India and Pakistan to fall in line, which is total rubbish. You want to use the trade threat, so can we. We have enough people who will supply stuff to us. Why do I need to chase you? Yes, you have certain areas of technology, space, oceans, etc., where you have the best knowledge in the world. We are happy to share that. We're happy to learn from you. At the same time, if you don't do it, as you yourselves have acknowledged, that you put sanctions, you didn't allow, sir. You remember our Mars mission? They sanctioned us and didn't give us cryogenic technology. Prime Minister Modi said, it took us 10 years, it's pushed us back by 10 years, but we did it. We are doing the same with the aircraft engine. So I think this message also has to go across, that we'll do it on our own. You delay us, fair enough, but then you are going to lose India. You're going to lose this huge and growing market. That, I think, the deal maker in Trump, who has made this deal with cryptocurrencies and whatever in Pakistan, I think the deal maker in Trump will realize, and Congress there, which at the moment seems to be doesn't care too much about Trump, neither does the American media. I think that will go home.
But you see, the American media doesn't like Trump too much.
That's what I meant.
Doesn't like Trump too much, and therefore the American media would happily lap a story, Tilak Deveshwar, that Trump is in league with terrorists. It's not just the Syrian guy who had a bounty on his head. Trump is effectively in league with all these terrorists because he's continuing to call Pakistan a great country, a wonderful country, maybe because of a hidden business deal of his family, but he's doing it on a global stage. And America is a country which went to Abbottabad to kill Osama bin Laden. And 15 years later, 13, 14 years later, to be precise, Trump is in league with Hafiz Saeed. We must counter this. I mean, Trump has to be on the defensive. He's got thin skin. This has to be discussed in the American media, where he can be domestically hit. He doesn't quite care about how he's perceived anywhere else in the world. But we're not doing that. These all-party delegations are not doing that. They're talking the diplomatic language. Maybe we need to talk the people's language. The language, you see, he has to, sorry to make this clear, he's saying that a student who has been anti-Semitic in his or her views, a student who may have made a few social media comments cannot be given a visa to study in America. But Trump can go and make a deal effectively with the entire terrorist infrastructure of Pakistan. Why are we not exploiting that typical Trumpian hypocrisy, Tilak Deveshwar, to put him on the back foot?
No. Let me tell you, it has been written about, it has been talked about. There are YouTubers who are talking about this. And let me tell you, I mean, Ambassador Bora and Ambassador Parsasat, they know the American system much better. But every piece of information gets filed, especially in the Congress. And I'm sure the Democrats are noting this down. There already is a bipartisan bill in the US Congress called the Park Democracy Act, which targets the Army Chief directly, and they're very worried about it. The congressmen are going to take note of the fact that for personal reasons,
yes,
that the president's son is doing a deal with Pakistan. So see, the evidence of Pakistan's support to terrorism is absolutely compelling. The visuals don't lie. No. And they're doing it so brazenly that it will be embarrassing for the US administration to be in touch with people who are supporting the army, the politicians, and the terrorists are all on the same page. It's going to be extremely embarrassing. And somewhere down the road, who knows? President Trump could get hauled up for being impeached, for this kind of a thing. So all this information is being noted down. It may not be happening as quickly as we would like it to happen, but I think the American system factors all these things in, and he's not going to be able to sustain this activity if Pakistan continues on this brazen path.
This is an excellent diplomatic panel, which takes me to my next question to Ambassador Parthasarathi. Ambassador Parthasarathi, let's begin with an assumption which may not be, diplomats may not say it, but which is a reality, is that ideology is a veil, but economics is the reality.
That's true.
Right? Ideology is a veil, but public pressure, political pressure is a reality. And I think it is time to put the pressure back on those who expect something from us. The Chinese won't be on our side, sir. The Russians have shown that they can be distant and they have more to lose by upsetting China than by upsetting us.
For the time being.
For the time being. For the time being. And we are also dependent on them because of the S-400s and the defense dependence. That means our only lever is America. The Pakistanis may have pressed that America button, and Trump, as you are suggesting, may have got something personally in return. Now, even in an ideology-less Trump world, we have a big danger that this group is going around, strutting around the world. I won't be surprised, sir, tomorrow if Hafiz Saeed is taken by Shehbaz Sharif to Washington, the way things are going. We need to do something quickly, sir. We need to do something quickly, Mr. Parthasarathi. There is a sense of urgency in our minds. Sir, if you were in charge giving advice to the Modi government, what would you suggest, sir, in these changed circumstances of a new world?
You know, in my own experience in about 3.5 years in Washington, it is time we started dealing with the US Congress. The Congress is the only organization which can embarrass the president, but we'll have to make a strong case, and I have worked with the Congress before. That is the route to influencing things in China. Get people to go and speak to the media, get the Indian community to get briefed on these things and ask them to spread it. We have a lot of leverages in the US, and I'm sure that the Prime Minister and the External Affairs Minister will make use of it. But I think the pressure must come on them also that, look, we expect action, and that if Trump can double-cross us and badmouth us,
you feel he's double-crossed us, sir?
Let us get.
You feel he's double-crossed us, sir?
Let me complete. Let us get our trade agreement signed. Trump doesn't understand what double-cross is. We still have one important agreement to get through, which is the trade agreement. I would say we do this quietly now and go hammer and tongs once we've got the trade agreement.
Okay, so there's a view here, Mr. Parthasarathi. I'll put this back to Deepak Vora and then the same question to both, to Tilakji. There's a view here that let the trade agreement happen and America will change after that. This is going around in Delhi circles. Oh, don't worry, this is all Trump pressure. Once the trade agreement is done, then see how he changes his line. Okay, so Parthasarathi wants to respond to that. You think so? Or rather, would we have given up our card?
Let me put it there. Let me put it out. We are going to have a problem because the trade agreement will have to be pushed through by Trump. And we have already the deal has been diluted from what we had originally expected. But we have to push it through. I'm sure it will be done discreetly. It's a sure way of getting the Indian community to be given briefs to go to their congressman and make the things.
No, Deepak Vora seems to agree with you. So you think we shouldn't give up that card? I would say don't sign the trade deal. Don't sign the trade deal till you get him to change his strategic line.
The argument that Ambassador Parthasarathi, who is widely respected, is using is that sign the trade deal and then see if he changes his mind.
Okay.
Because the trade deal is going to have certain elements. Probably one of our ministers referred to it as the mother of all trade deals. And if that does happen, America is looking to access the Indian market. There are certain areas where we depend on them. We would like to be friendly with them. Others where we may not. But I believe that if he faces obstruction in Congress, the Indian community, as Ambassador has said, as Mr. Deveshwar said, very, very powerful, sir. They're very influential in the United States. They're at top levels. They will be used to put across our case to individual congressmen that, look, what the president is doing, whatever you might think of him, he wants to make America great again, etc. But he's not doing good by India. We are your best friends in the region.
He doesn't think so, sir.
Well, he should. But that has to be brought
so.
home to him. If he thinks that Pakistan are his best friends, he's going to be rudely awakened sooner rather than later.
So since we have a very different situation today after these pictures, Tilak Deveshwar, my last question in this very important discussion is to you. We go back to these pictures. These pictures are scary. And I believe these pictures, where the Pakistani political leadership is officially joining hands with terrorists on stages and celebrating, and almost indirectly celebrating the Pahalgam massacre, the Pahalgam terrorist act, is happening because they know they have Trump's backing. So we then need to put the pressure on Trump, and if required, be alone in the world. Should we sign the trade deal, sir? Or should we hold it as a lever? Tilakji.
I think I would agree with what has been said by the other two panelists. Sign the trade deal because that gives you leverage with the businesses in the various states represented by congressmen. You can work on the congressmen once the trade deal is done to make sure that the administration actually toes the straight and narrow line. I mean, after all, what kind of market does Pakistan provide and where does Pakistan have the money? Personal financial dealing is one thing, but when it comes to the country as a whole, the United States can't do any trade with Pakistan because they have to offer. With India, there's a huge potential.
Sorry, I just wanted to, sir, with your permission, Mr. Daveshar, say that once the American company, for example, deals with an Indian company and is selling its stuff, that American company becomes one of our biggest ambassadors. That I'm dealing with this Indian company, I'm selling this, I'm selling that. So they will become our lobbyists ipso facto in the Congress, etc.
I'm sure that the right-wing lobbies backing Trump will be horrified at his indirect access, understanding, and nonchalant attitude towards terrorist groups in Pakistan. We must use that too. This has been absolutely great. I thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Partha, sir. Thank you, Deepak ji, and thank you, Tilak ji, for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, this week has also been a game changer in terms of India's national defense mindset, from the landmark notification of absolutely brand new rules for the Unified Military Command to India's clear green flag to advance development of its indigenous fifth-generation fighter jet AMCA. Now, the defense minister is committing 10% increase in the R&D budget of DRDO. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a renewed energy to invest in our own defense capabilities after Operation Sindoor, something I believe is a very necessary booster shot at these times.
और पाकिस्तान समझ ले 3 बार घर में घुस करके मारा है। हम शक्ति को पूजने वाले लोग, हम महिषासुर मर्दिनी को पूजते हैं। बंगाल टाइगर की इस धरती से 140 करोड़ भारतीयों का ऐलान है। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर अभी खत्म नहीं हुआ है।
Days after the success of Operation Sindoor, Pakistan is slowly waking up to the realizations of what really hit them.
Before that hour reached, India again launched missile attacks, BrahMos, and hit Pakistan's various provinces, including airport in Rawalpindi and other places.
India's message is clear. Operation Sindoor is not over. And India is moving faster than ever to enhance its defense capabilities through major revamps and indigenization. From BrahMos to now its new 5th generation fighter aircraft. The centre notified the rules under the Inter-Services Organizations Act 2023 to enhance greater jointness and command efficiency in the armed forces, a significant development since Operation Sindoor.
We need to invest more in R&D.
Not just that. Today, the DRDO chief also outlined how India is going to push further on the research and development front unlike ever before.
For the next 5 years, we need to invest more in R&D. Today, we invest about 5% of our defense budget on R&D. The Honorable Raksha Mantri has promised us that over the next 5 years, this will increase to 10% of the defense budget gradually.
In a historic milestone in India's aspirations to develop its indigenous 5th generation stealth aircraft under the Advanced Medium Combat Aircraft project, the government is moving with lightning speed.
आत्मनिर्भरता को बढ़ावा देने के लिए अभी 2 दिन पहले एमका प्रोजेक्ट को, जो 5th जनरेशन फाइटर एयरक्राफ्ट भारत में ही बनाने का प्रोजेक्ट है, उसको आगे बढ़ाने की एग्जीक्यूशन मॉडल को मंजूरी दे दी है। ये एक बहुत ही बोल्ड और बहुत ही डिसाइसिव डिसीजन लिया गया है, जो भारत की डिफेंस कैपेबिलिटीज को मजबूती प्रदान करने के साथ साथ इस देश में एरोस्पेस सेक्टर को एक डेप्थ और एक नई हाइट प्रदान करेगा। एमका प्रोजेक्ट के अंतर्गत आज 5 प्रोटोटाइप डेवलप करने की योजना है, जिसका बाद में सीरीज प्रोडक्शन होगा।
India's Kaveri jet engine, a long-stalled project initially envisaged for the light combat aircraft Tejas, is also making its own strides. While undergoing tests in Russia, reports indicate that Kaveri engine could soon clear its first takeoff with integration in India's indigenously developed Ghatak stealth drones.
This war was won by a whole-of-nation approach. The same approach needs to continue while talking about, empowering the defense forces. Actually, it is not just whole-of-nation approach. We have to be whole-of-nation mission mode, if I can call it, to make sure that we accelerate and produce results.
The success of Operation Sindoor has rejuvenated India's resolve for Atmanirbharta. Will this booster shot prove to be an absolute game changer for the Indian Armed Forces?
We have General Raj Shukla, General G.D. Bakshi and Sushant Sareen for this very important discussion, which we have seen. And I want to start with you, General Shukla. Can you hear me, sir? We've seen a renewed interest in issues concerning defense production, defense preparedness, which is extremely good over the last 1 month, especially since the unfortunate terrorist attack in Pahalgam. But people don't understand exactly what is happening. To start with, could you explain to us, General Raj Shukla, that when the government notifies rules under the Inter-Services Organizations Command, Control and Discipline Act 2023, signaling its intent to fast-track setting up of Joint Services Command, which is part of a theaterization drive. Now, this is all very technical language. For a non-technical person who does not have deep knowledge of defense lingo, what are we doing now? A, should we have done this earlier? B, and how quickly can we make the change and for what reason? Can you explain this, the big news that came out yesterday?
Yeah, so Arnab, it is really wonderful news, and let me just briefly put it in perspective, or try to put it in perspective. You see, when this government came to power 2014, we saw the initiation of the boldest, most wide-ranging national security reform since independence, and I say this with complete responsibility. It is a virtual national security makeover. The CDS DMA, you know, that in substance it's even more powerful than the American Goldwater Nichols. Atmanirbharta in defense, these new normals in our security outlook, defense coming out of the shadows of foreign policy. Now, for the last 10 years, we have seen great steps being taken, but, you know, haltingly. Some have run into trouble. Now, what has happened with Op Sindoor, now that it has, you know, once again, what I say, it has reaffirmed the utility of force. If you couple this with the government's announcement of defense reforms this year to broaden, deepen and accelerate reforms. And the most important thing is this buoyant interest in national security. Television platforms, society, colleges, universities. This is just the moment to accelerate that national security makeover. And I'm very confident that if we take some meaningful steps, India will become a defense powerhouse in the next decade or so. Now, let me just make 2 points. You asked about theatre commands. You know, what you said is about command and control, but that's just baby steps. What we really need to do, you know, if you take this whole jointness integration piece, while we have done well, where are we actually? We are only at that state in the United States of America which prevailed in 1949 when they announced a permanent chairman, Joint Chiefs. That's all we have. Then the Americans went through, the fiasco of Iran. General Bakshi is the best person to tell us about that. Gulf War I, when you saw the beginning of network-centric warfare. Gulf War II, when you saw true integration. A tank commander calling for the fire of F-16. And now they are into cross-pollination, civil-military fusion. So CDS-DMA is a powerful step, but just the beginning. We should now have integrated theatre commands. Let me tell you what that will do. If you have one commander looking at the Western theatre, he should look at Pakistan, Afghanistan, Iran, Turkey, the whole set of threats. And next time around, we have to carry out a terror response. We should be at such a high state of lethality and operational readiness that if a terror attack is launched by 2 o'clock in the afternoon and we have reasonable evidence that it is the Pakistanis, by 8 o'clock under the aegis of this Western theatre commander, the attack must go. Next time we must not take out the brother-in-laws of Masood Azhar, but Masood Azhar himself. Integrated theatre commanders will have a quasi-diplomatic visage. They'll look at Bangladesh, Myanmar, and integrate the force diplomacy piece. The most important thing in integrated theatre commands, in fact, in my view, the highest priority, even before the Western theatre, the maritime and the Eastern theatres, is space and cyber. Space and cyber need to be given combatant command status. And just 30 seconds more, Atmanirbharta in defense. For the first time in years, we've had startups, we have had private sector. AMCA being opened out to the private sector is such brilliant news, Arnab. If we let our startups, there are so many of them in Bangalore, Hyderabad, if we give them orders, you see what will happen to India. They will give you your capacities in the LEO. They will give you capacities in loiter. And we will truly become this defense powerhouse, a dream that I have nursed since the 1982 when I was commissioned, into the Indian Military Academy. So it's a great moment, but we have to take some very deep, meaningful, substantive steps.
Absolutely, sir. Before I go to General Bakshi, Sushant Sareen, this layman question, all of this is happening, we're very happy, very, very happy about all the news and the breaking news that's coming in the last 10 days. But why now? Did we need Pahalgam? Did we need Operation Sindoor to accelerate things? Is this an acknowledgement at some level that we have perhaps dragged our feet, or our bureaucracy has dragged its feet on the urgency, on the strategic imperative that we need for our air superiority specifically, because the AMCA project has been announced now. Why not say 3 years earlier, 4 years earlier, and how long will it take? Sushant.
We are talking about the AMCA project. We haven't even, as the Air Chief Marshal very correctly says, we haven't even delivered on the Tejas Mk1A. So there are serious problems in, we might be having the right intentions, but intentions are nothing if you can't deliver on those intentions. And on that, I think we have lacked. But on your main question, Arnab, part of the reason is that I suspect that one thing which has sunk in everybody's head is the importance of military modernization. That wars of the future are not just going to be fought by infantry officers or by cavalry. Wars of the futures are going to be fought by modern military means of the sorts we saw a very small example this time around. That does not obviate the need for having foot soldiers, for having artillery, for having cavalry. You need all those fighting arms. But you also need to modernize at a furious pace because your enemies are doing the same thing. So I think there is also a recognition that modernization works, one. Secondly, I think what has happened is that there is this, there are moments in history of every nation when suddenly the nation starts waking up. And I think General Shukla put it quite aptly. And this is a moment like that. We can either fritter it away which we have done sometimes in the past as well, or we can grab this moment. If you depend only for technology on DRDO or on government institutions, I'm afraid you are going to get nowhere. You need to rope in the private sector, which I think we are now starting to do. You need to start trusting the private sector. Sure, have your security measures taken, have all of that, but trust them. There are any number of, and General Shukla knows of the persons I'm talking about, young people, startups, who have done nothing but gone from one government office to another government office to a third government office to a fourth government office. And this is despite the fact that at the top levels, they've been given all kinds of assurances. Now, what is wrong with this goddamn bureaucracy of ours, which has any number of IIT educated engineers who are IAS officers and at various other levels, and yet you are not able to push things through? You don't understand the importance of new technologies coming in. These young people, 27, 30-year-old people who are coming out with fabulous new technologies, great new ideas, rather than hand-holding them, encouraging them, we are not doing that. So I think we need to look. ISRO has a model. Okay, maybe not the perfect model, but ISRO has a model where they have gotten in touch with young startups who have been providing ISRO with cutting-edge technology. Why can't the same damn thing be done in the case of the defense industries? I think there is a lot which can be done, and can be done a lot faster than, this glacial pace that we are so accustomed to moving. It can be done. Yes. Somebody needs to start tracking the way.
I go to General Bakshi on that. See, General Bakshi, we have to seize the opportunity of this national awakening that has happened. So, one thing I'm always concerned about, in 2007, we put a request for proposal for some hundreds of this 114 medium multi-role combat aircraft, MMRCA. 2007, sir. 2007. We haven't completed this till now. And we have 30 to 32 fighter squadrons. We have a sanctioned strength of 42 squadrons. And we are still fighting with Mirages. We are fighting with planes that have their date of origin in the early 1970s. So, I don't understand we have great Air Force officers, a fantastic Air Force. Do we not have the money? Do we not have the will? Now, these AMCAs, I want to be clear, if we start delivering, they'll get delivered in 2035. It's not going to happen overnight. So, but wars will not wait. Operation Sindoor is on, so there's a great urgency between now and the next few months, sir. What should we do, sir? What should we do?
Look, Arnab, that is exactly the point veterans have been, losing sleep over. Why are we moving at this glacial pace? You just outlined the aspect of the fighter deal of the century, which was supposed to have been initiated in 2007. We had that entire run through of testing various types of aircraft. Finally, we selected on the Rafale, and then there was that big problem that in the manufacturing of the Rafale in India, the Congress government had said we don't have any money to pursue this deal, and it was locked up and put in cold storage. You can't treat your defense in this cavalier manner, man. The simple fact of the matter is that thereafter we have gotten in for 36 Rafales, right? And a sanction strength of 42, you are down to 30. For cosmetic purpose, we keep saying 31 as if that makes one hell of a difference. Thank God for the technology, indigenous technology that came in via the NAVIC series of satellites, which cover 3,000 to 4,000 kilometers either side of our international borders and our coastlines. They do away with the curvature of the earth. They have given us pinpoint 1 meter CEP accuracy, both for offensive systems, defensive systems. We have survived this war because of that. silent revolution. But I totally agree with my other colleagues that unless you privatize, look, I'm very sorry, but public sector organizations can't, they pay peanuts. You pay peanuts, you'll get monkeys, right? It is the private sector that can hire the best talent at whatever cost is required. They don't have to worry whether the pay of one scientist crosses the pay of the cabinet secretary, which can't happen in the bureaucracy. You get the best from wherever it is required. Look at some of the success stories, Arnab. Bharat Kalyani Forge, the A-tags, advanced towed artillery gun system, right? 2010, 2011, this project was started. Today it has delivered, you know. But look at our own bureaucracy, including the military bureaucracy. We have perfected a gun which is better than the American equivalent gun. The American gun fires to 45 kilometers, we fire to 48, right? That fires 3 rounds per minute, we fire 5 rounds per minute. And yet we were told this is too heavy. Look, if the Vajra can operate in Ladakh and in the Sikkim plateau, I don't see why a 21-ton gun, which has now been reduced to 19, can't function there. In any case, it has gone there and it has proved itself. You know. So what I just finished. What I'm trying to say is, you know what has happened? After all this development, we said we'll only go in for 310. We needed 1800 of such guns. Right? We want another gun which is lighter weight. Are we looking for a model competition where you are looking for an anoxic model?
I have
you don't have the time.
No, I think we don't have the time. And if it is a question of money, I have a radical thought here. 140 crore Indians, let's say not all of them. If 100 crore Indians were to contribute 1,000 rupees each, or if 100 crore Indians were to contribute 10,000 rupees each, you would have 140, at least 14 lakh crores. You can increase your defense budget for 1 year by 20%, not just 5% or 6%, in order to make the purchases that you need. So indigenization will come, but we need all of this now. I think the point I take from all of your 3 comments is that we don't need to be self-congratulatory. We need to increase the pace. And we need to do it now. I thank you very much for your fantastic comments on that. And ladies and gentlemen, let's not be self-congratulatory. Let's realize the challenges and work towards it. But at 9 p.m. tonight, when Rahul Gandhi's right-hand man makes a direct or indirect comparison between terrorists on the one side and the all-party delegations pushing India's line across the world, then I think it's totally unpardonable. When I'm back.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime, Raho Befikar. Co-powered by best internationally recognized hospitality education brand in India.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, masscom, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध, MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा.
Where the software engineer meets the cool UI UX designer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला.
Mahi sir, how much do you love your fans?
Honestly, I love my new fans. पुराने वाले बेकार में शोर करते.
Sir, fans है शोर तो करेंगे ही ना.
नए वाले नहीं करते. And they listen to what I say.
The new generation Orient BLDC fans, super silent performance with voice control.
Silly me, I thought.
Cricket fans.
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar and I'm here to tell you that also gives me the license to guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IIHM.
Join International Institute of Hotel Management.
We don't just get you the headlines, we report on them. We get information from the highest level of sources. We get you news from the men in uniform, from those on the front. At Republic School of Journalism, you will learn how real reporting is done on the ground and in real time. The RSG Diploma course begins on June 30th. If you want to lead this story, start here.
I have seen. Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho Befikar. Co-powered by Best Internationally Recognized Hospitality Education Brand in India.
Where the software engineer meets the gifted content writer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप
विमल में गुलिस्तां के ये कुछ लजीज फरिश्ते जब साथ गुलें तो जी लग जाए और दिल कहे कि स्वाद की जुबान में खुद को ऐसे डुबाऊं कि निकल ना पाऊं। विमल की जुबान कुछ है ही ऐसी, मानते हैं? विमल बोलो जुबान कैसी?
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
Hi, this is Chef Ranveer Brar and I'm here to tell you that also gives me the license to guarantee you brilliance on behalf of IIHM.
Join International Institute of Hotel Management.
I have seen what it takes to report from the front line. Accuracy, urgency, courage, and responsibility. At Public School of Journalism, you will be trained for all that reality. It's not theory, it's live learning. Inside a working newsroom from day first. If you want to report the truth when it matters the most, RSJ is where you begin. Course begins on June 30th. Apply now. We don't just get you the headlines, we report on them. We get information from the highest level of sources. We get you news from the men in uniform, from those on the front. At Republic School of Journalism, you will learn how real reporting is done on the ground and in real time. The RSG Diploma course begins on June 30th. If you want to lead this story, start here.
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on the debate. Arnab Goswami on the debate.
Welcome back, and time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. Now, ever since Pahalgam and Operation Sindoor, when you look at the way the Congress party has been talking, you get a feeling that they're isolated, they're frustrated, and they're a bitter party. They do not like the fact that the political leadership of this country has taken the strongest ever and most decisive action ever in the history of this country against terrorist bases and the bases of the masters and puppeteers of the terrorists in Pakistan. They don't like that fact. They look at everything in a political context. It is perhaps this reason, the frustration, the isolation, and the bitterness of the Congress party, that Jairam Ramesh made what I feel is not a faux pas, but a very well thought out comparison between terrorists, the Pahalgam terrorists, and the members of parliament who are making India's case as part of all-party delegations sent around the world to expose Pakistan. You wouldn't ever imagine that anyone could make that comment, but here is Jairam Ramesh, Rahul Gandhi's right-hand man, saying this.
यानी कि ये जो पहलगाम के आतंकवादी हैं, उन्होंने 4 आतंकी हमले कराए हैं 18 महीने में। आज वह यहाँ वहाँ घूम रहे हैं, हमारे सांसद भी यहाँ वहाँ घूम रहे हैं और आतंकवादी भी यहाँ वहाँ घूम रहे हैं। तो यही तो गंभीरता से हम ये सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, इन सवालों को जवाब नहीं देते हैं।
You don't have to listen to that again, but you, ladies and gentlemen, what he said out there. He said terrorists are roaming around and our members of parliament are roaming around. Jairam Ramesh is comparing members of parliament like Milind Deora, like Anurag Thakur, like Asaduddin Owaisi, like Ghulam Nabi Azad, going around, like Anand Sharma, going around the world to make a case for India, and he's comparing them with the Pahalgam terrorists. But you see, viewers, this kind of comment is very well thought out. Like the comment of Pawan Khera, spokesperson of the Congress party, who constantly uses Donald Trump to try and claim that Trump mediated everything, that our country had no role, that our army had effectively no role. Listen to what he said.
Today, Donald Trump, President Trump, threatens Mr. Modi, and Mr. Modi can't open his mouth. Mr. Trump threatens us with blocking trade if we don't stop Operation Sindoor. That's the difference between India under Rajiv Gandhi and India under Narendra Modi.
I'm absolutely convinced it's not Pawan Khera's problem that he is, as far as facts are concerned, he knows very little. Maybe he has less understanding of our country's political and military history. But he should have listened to the DGM or the Director General of Military Operations, who said very clearly there's no mediation, that he received a message on the hotline from his counterpart in Pakistan. This is the stated position of the Indian Army, which is being contradicted and questioned by the Congress party. Hear the comment of the Army once again.
On the 10th of May, in the morning, even as we were getting into a huddle to wargame the events of the previous night, a routine exercise, I received a message on hotline from my counterpart in Pakistan seeking my willingness to communicate. Since our initial aim was to strike at terror camps, and all our actions in the subsequent days were in response to the intrusions and violations by the Pakistan Air Force and its army, it was decided that I would indeed speak with my counterpart.
In fact, so frustrated are people within the Congress party about Rahul Gandhi and his minions' attempt to run down the achievements of the Indian Army, or the narrative that has been set by the Indian Army, or rather the facts that have been put out by the Indian Army, that some Congress leaders themselves have been openly contradicting the political falsehoods put out by the Congress party. And one of those congressmen who has decided to defy the party line is Manish Tiwari.
Let us very clearly understand that the word mediation carries with it a certain structured legal connotation. Talking to both the countries or their interlocutors at a point in time when there is tension and obviously there is concern around the world does not really constitute mediation. The only channel which was used was the two DGMOs talking to each other. The call was made by the Director General of Military Operations of Pakistan at 12 in the afternoon of the 10th of May.
So viewers, the reality is this, that there are today in the political establishment, I'm only talking about the political establishment, there are two groups. One group is Rahul Gandhi, Mallikarjun Kharge, Robert Vadra. I don't know what Priyanka Vadra's position is, she hasn't said much. Pawan Khera and Jairam Ramesh and their minions. And their entire objective is to somehow contradict the government, and even if that requires contradicting the army, they say that's fantastic, that's all right. Even if that means that their courts will be picked up and played in Pakistan, even if they become PR for the ISI, PR for Shehbaz Sharif, the Congress party does not care. There is another Congress party and there are other leaders, including those like Asaduddin Owaisi, the Aam Aadmi party, whose position is far more nationalistic and nuanced. And their line is very simple, that do not do anything which hurts national interest. Don't speak the language that Mallikarjun Kharge speaks when he says, with absolute contempt for the Indian Armed Forces, that this is nothing. This was a chut-put war. Operation Sindoor, in his words, was a chut-put matter. I'm not making up these words. This is not an AI-generated video. Hear this.
26 ಪ್ರಾಣಗಳನ್ನು ಉಳಿತೀವು ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಈಗೇನು ನಾವು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಚುಟ್ಪುಟ್ಟು ಯುದ್ಧಗಳು ನಡೆದಿವೆ ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ನಾವೇನು ಘರ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ ಕೆಲಸ ಅಂತೂ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಬರೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಭಾರತ ದೇಶ ಮೇಲೆ ಗೂಬಿ ಕೂಡಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಶಕ್ತಿಹೀನರು ಇವತ್ತು ಚೈನಾಯಿಂದ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಅವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ದಾಳಿ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂತ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನವನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Repeatedly playing up China. Why not? The Congress party has an agreement with the Chinese which they simply will not ever make public. Ladies and gentlemen, there is lastly a more sinister intention that these sections of the Congress party, people like Robert Vadra, who blame Hindutva for Pahalgam, people like Rahul Gandhi, people like Pawan Khera, people like Jairam Ramesh, why do they speak this language? Because there is a sinister political intention. And you saw that this very senior Congress leader, I believe he's been a general secretary of the party, his name is Ghulam Mir from Kashmir. There was a tape of his which came out in which he was provoking Kashmiris by saying, who suffers when there is conflict with Pakistan? We suffer. Do people in Tamil Nadu suffer? Do people in Uttar Pradesh suffer? And he exhorts the audience to say no. Now, what is this, viewers? At a time of conflict, every political leader should say the nation should come together. But the Congress party leaders say Kashmiris should be divided from people from Uttar Pradesh or people from Tamil Nadu in terms of their response to the war. Ladies and gentlemen, when we win or lose in a conflict, but we must fight together. There will be suffering, but this has been a tremendous victory. And the suffering is not of the people of Kashmir alone. People from various states were killed in Pahalgam. And people from all over the country are represented in the armed forces that keeps the borders of Jammu and Kashmir, the borders of Jammu and Kashmir, the border regions of Punjab, the border regions of Rajasthan, all safe. You can't divide the country on the basis of region, but this is exactly what the Congress leaders are doing on the ground. Just watch and listen to this tape.
उस भारतीय जनता पार्टी को याद दिलाना चाहते हैं जिन्होंने हमारा स्टेट भी छीना, हमारा स्टेटस भी छीना. आज आप देख लीजिए, थोड़ी सी एक्टिविटी उन्होंने की, पता नहीं दिल से की या मजबूरियत में की, वो पहला साहब बोलेंगे. मगर जितना भी किया उसका खैमियाजा किसको उठाना पड़ा? उसका खैमियाजा किनको उठाना पड़ा? जम्मू कश्मीर को या उत्तर प्रदेश को? जोर से आवाज दो. ये नरेंद्र मोदी जी सुन रहे हैं आपकी. अगर आप आवाज नहीं दोगे तो मेरी आवाज नहीं होनी चाहिए.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, you must listen to this entire series of comments. And if this video is with you today, you're probably watching it on television, but if you receive this video on your phones, on your mobile instruments, pass it around. You see, viewers, because I say these truths in the way that I ought to, in national interest, the Congress party wants to threaten me legally. They say they do not like my narration of history. Well, this is my perspective. It is the perspective of a nationalist. And I believe what the Congress party is doing and has done, I believe it should not be repeated in the future. The party must have a conscience. And even if it doesn't have a conscience, if sections of its leadership do not have a conscience, we, the people of India, must remind them that they need to have one. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a fantastic panel with me tonight. I'm going to go straight to my debate this evening. Or rather, should I play a small news report to highlight the points and then come to the debate?
Congress party's stand and comments throughout Operation Sindoor has been questionable. From blaming Hindutva for the attack,
this government will try and show that, talk about Hindutva and, the minorities feel uncomfortable. And if you dissect this terrorist act that took place, if they're looking at people's identity, why are they looking at people's identity? Because there's a divide that has come about in our country with Hindus and Muslims and also Christians.
to asking for evidence and questioning the testimonies of the widows of the victims.
उस समय इलेक्शन था, उस समय तो बड़ा तुरला चल रहा था कि जी हम ये कर देंगे, हम वो कर देंगे। आज तक मैंने तो पता नहीं चला मुझे तो कहाँ स्ट्राइक हुए हैं, कहाँ बंदे मारे गए थे उस समय, कहाँ वहाँ पाकिस्तान में हुआ था। हमारे देश में आकर कोई बम गिरे पता नहीं चलेगा।
From Congress chief calling Operation Chhut Put War to Congress leader Ghulam Ahmad Mir calling it Thodi Si activity.
ಮತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಈಗೇನು ನಾವು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಚುಟ್ಪುಟ್ಟು ಯುದ್ಧಗಳು ನಡೆದಿವೆ ಅಥವಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ನಾವೇನು ಘರ್ಷಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ, ಪಾಕಿಸ್ತಾನ ಕೆಲಸ ಅಂತೂ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಬರೇ ನಮ್ಮ भारत देश में लगू भी कूटतಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು।
उस भारतीय जनता पार्टी को याद दिलाना चाहते हैं जिन्होंने हमारा स्टेट भी छीना, हमारा स्टेटस भी छीना। आज आप देख लीजिए थोड़ी सी एक्टिविटी उन्होंने की, पता नहीं दिल से की या मजबूरियत में की, वो प्यारा साहब बोलेंगे, मगर जितना भी किया उसका खमियाजा किसको उठाना पड़ा, उसका खमियाजा किनको उठाना पड़ा, जम्मू कश्मीर को या उत्तर प्रदेश को।
Congress has stooped to the lowest possible level. Completely isolated and frustrated, Congress MP Jairam Ramesh has compared members of the all-party delegations to the Pahalgam terrorists.
यानी कि ये जो पहलगाम के आतंकवादी हैं, उन्होंने 4 आतंकी हमले कराए हैं 18 महीने में। आज वह यहाँ वहाँ घूम रहे हैं, हमारे सांसद भी यहाँ वहाँ घूम रहे हैं और आतंकवादी भी यहाँ वहाँ घूम रहे हैं। तो यही तो गंभीरता से हम ये सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, इन सवालों का जवाब नहीं देते हैं।
The very party that earlier claimed India's global outreach as quote-unquote damage control, at a time when the nation is adorned with the tricolour, a time when the national morale is at an all-time high, at a time when the resolve of our forces could not be more stronger. Is the Congress party's listed modus operandi to stay relevant?
It's a very serious matter. I have made my position clear. And maybe, Shehzad, it is better if we give everyone who is with the Congress and backing the Congress point of view to offer an explanation for this terrible comment, this heinous comment.
Can there be an explanation?
Democratically, I think an opportunity should be provided for an apology / an explanation or a clarification.
There's an explanation. Let's hear it.
Well, I would like to go to Shyam Prasad Meka of the Congress first from Bengaluru. Ravindra Singh Shoran is with us in the studio. He's pro-Congress. He's the editor of the Fourth Estate, very pro-Congress voice. Kapil Madan is with us. We all know him.
Fourth Estate is pro-Congress.
Well, I mean, okay, so no, Fourth Estate is not. His Fourth Estate is. Now, okay.
Only fifth columnist.
Shyam, everything makes you angry, but this is unpardonable, To say that terrorists are roaming around and members of parliament are roaming around. To draw a comparison between Asaduddin Owaisi and a terrorist. You're calling Asaduddin Owaisi a terrorist. You're calling Ghulam Nabi Azad a terrorist. You're calling Anand Sharma a terrorist. Right? You're calling Anurag Thakur a terrorist. You're calling Jay Panda a terrorist, right? You're calling Syed Akbaruddin, former diplomat, a terrorist. You're calling Harsh Shringla, former ambassador, a terrorist, right? There must be some deep frustration inside you why you talk this language. But why do you think Jairam is talking like this? And his position is that of the Congress party. They can't say it's not our view. They can't say Jairam Ramesh is a personal view. They can't say that.
This is Gandhi's voice.
Yes. Sham.
Arnab, one thing, curious thing I have noticed is, you mentioned all these names, not the BJP names.
Anurag Thakur is from the BJP. Anurag Thakur is from BJP. Jay Panda is from BJP. Your Samanya Gyan or general knowledge is very poor.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
So, on the main, you started off with Asaduddin Owaisi, you started off with Jairam Ramesh, you started with Anand Sharma and all that. Okay, so let's leave it there. What Jairam Ramesh told is, Is your contention that they are terrorists?
Are you calling them terrorists? Supriya Sule is a terrorist.
Who is?
That's what Jairam Ramesh has made the comparison.
No, 1 second. Jairam Ramesh, while I wouldn't speak in the same way, I don't think he meant it that way. It's very clear. Everybody knows that. So why do we make a mountain out of a molehill?
What did he mean?
He was trying to take a jibe and it was a misfired jibe. That's how I look at it.
Like a Chinese rocket. Like a Turkish drone.
I don't know much about Chinese.
We are using similes. You use a simile for parliament with terrorists. So I can use a Turkish drone simile for Jairam Ramesh's misfired rockets, can't I? Why so touchy, boss? I mean, why so touchy? No, Mr. Meka. No, Mr. Meka. You said it's like Mr. Meka, may I just take 20 seconds and then you speak? Mr. Meka, you see, 20 seconds, just 20 seconds.
Okay.
You said it's a slip of the tongue. 24 hours after Pahalgam, Robert Vadra says Hindutva did it, slip of tongue. Saifuddin Soz then says that IWT should not be stopped. Pakistan pe bharosa karo, slip of tongue. Ajay Rai and Channiji just before Operation Sindoor mocked the armed forces, slip of tongue. Operation Sindoor ke baad, chutput is what Khadgeji says, slip of tongue. Vijay Vadattiwar questions the cost of the missile, slip of tongue. Alka Lamba says Blue Star, slip of tongue. Ghulam Mir says thodi si activity, slip of tongue. And now you have in the Kutnitik strike, the diplomatic strike, you say that these are terrorists. So Pakistan gets a handle like it got in 2611 when you called it Hindutva attack to go and tell the world that look, these are not parliamentarians, these are terrorists. So Jairam Ramesh is, in the words of Gen Z, Pak Paglu. What? He's when you like something in Gen Z bhasha.
What do you call it?
When you like something a lot, it's called Paglu. Paglu. Dilulu, Paglu.
I don't know this language. Okay. I don't know.
So Congress is Pak Paglu. Or let me use a more official term, it's DGISPR. Is that better? DGISPR. Congress is the equivalent of DGISPR. Because you have called Supriya Sule a terrorist. You have called Kanimozi a terrorist. You have called Rajiv Rai a terrorist. You call Abhishek Banerjee a terrorist. You got Salman Khurshid a terrorist. Mr. Kapil
But they call Osama bin Laden Osama G. Osama Kapil Madan G.
Not G.
But Owaisi is to be compared to a terrorist. India's multi-party diplomatic mission is to be compared to the Pahalgam terrorists.
So can I come in, Arnab? And I will appreciate please don't interrupt. Allow me only 1 minute of uninterrupted time. This happens when you want to have malice disguise as a pattern. And give me an example why I am saying. So what did Mr. Ramesh said? Mr. Ramesh said these terrorists have not been caught and they are roaming here and there. The Congress party and in fact almost the entire opposition is calling for a special session.
Where is the comparison with the MPs in the all-party delegation? Do they have to be caught? Hold on.
I get your drift.
How do you?
I get your drift. Please hold on.
No, how do you make a comparison? Why do you make a comparison?
I get your drift. I get your viewers are getting your drift. Please hold on. Keep quiet.
Of course, viewers always get my drift.
Will not have. Please keep quiet. Okay, please keep quiet. So you will not call the government that they are not calling a special parliament session wherein all the facts, all what the government has done on Pakistan will be debated in parliament. But you want to appreciate the MPs going abroad as a delegation, and they want to, rather than speaking to our own people, they want to speak to people of the different countries. Now that's what they've.
Do you understand diplomacy, or in diplomacy are you supposed to speak to people from different countries or what? Come on.
Hold
if you had been asked, I'm sure you're angry or not. If you had been asked, you would have refused to.
अभी तो शुरू हुई है debate. अभी तो शुरू हुई है.
शुरू हुई है मगर आप self goal कर रहे हो ना?
My second point is.
We didn't get your first point though.
You want to have diplomacy.
Make sense of it. So we get your drift. What was the drift?
You want to have a diplomacy on a firefighting mode, but unfortunately, diplomacy requires a foresight. What you have not done in the last.
Are you saying Manish Tiwari lacks foresight?
You're now
Are you saying Kanimozi lacks foresight?
Of course, yes. Diplomacy is about foresight.
Kanimozi lacks foresight. Then why are you in alliance with a party? Supriya Sule lacks foresight.
Shehzad, hold on. Shehzad, hold on. Why these delegations, why you have not done enough programs exposing Pakistan in the last 10 years at the international platform? If you have done those kind of programs, sending delegations regularly abroad, highlighting and
Kapil, why are you comparing parliamentarians to terrorists? Can you come to the point? We have a debate which ends at 10. This is not going on till 10 in the morning tomorrow. Can you come to the point?
I understand your anxiety.
Arey bhai, this is not a thesis.
That's the reason why. That's the reason why you want to create a malice and you want to draw a completely different conclusion. A person.
Why are you calling Kanimozi a terrorist for that?
Parliamentarians should be here in the country. They should be here debating in the parliament so that we should know.
So they become terrorists because they went abroad. Kanimozi is a terrorist because she went abroad to keep India's case. I mean, is Mr. Stalin listening to this? Is Samajwadi Party listening to this? Is Sharad Pawar ji listening to this? He is calling your relative a terrorist because she is fighting India's case.
Because you are giving cover fire. You are giving cover fire to Vijay Shah, your colleague, who on record has said.
This makes no sense. Kapil, in the history of not making sense, you have now won the world record.
Your colleague has said it. Your colleague is still in the BJP.
Why are you calling members of parliament of your alliance terrorists?
Because you want to give cover fire to your own colleague.
Kapil, do you listen to yourself late at night?
Kapil.
That's the reason why.
That's the reason why you call Rajiv Rai a terrorist.
Kapil.
You want to give cover fire to Vijay Shah to what? That.
Kapil.
Jairam Ramesh called Rajiv Rai a terrorist because we want to give cover fire to somebody.
I am sorry, he has not. He's not said.
Then what did he say? Okay, paraphrase what he said.
No.
Paraphrase what he said.
So he. No. So.
Aap batao.
Again. I have explained this show what he was trying to say.
No,
but yes, you want to give a cover fire to Vijay Shah. Because in your mind, you have the same mentality of Vijay Shah and you want to give cover fire to Vijay Shah. That's why.
Why did Jairam Ramesh call parliament?
No, I am sorry. Why did Vijay Shah call Colonel Qureshi as sister of terrorists? You please explain.
He was stammering more than Pakistan.
Why did he say so? Why did he say so? No, I'm asking, why did he say so?
बोला क्यों? Stammering more than Pakistan.
अरे बोला क्यों उन्होंने?
But that's a.
He's बोला क्यों उन्होंने? Turkish drone.
No,
I am asking you.
By the way, I still do not know whether the Congress party has an office in Turkey or a representative in Turkey.
Of course, have an office in Turkey.
They do have an office in Turkey.
Absolutely,
they have a representative in Turkey.
Come sue me. I'll tell you, there's an office in Turkey.
As much as they have an agreement with the Chinese Communist Party. Anyway, there are many things we don't know. We don't know why Sonia Gandhi was invited to the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games when even the Prime Minister then, puppet Prime Minister Manmohan Singh was not invited.
What?
That is true.
Yes, that's true.
They say no.
They signed an agreement. They have a picture there, boss. What are you? Which parallel universe are you in?
Arnab, you need to have control over your language.
I have the best language. I have the best language in English and Hindi presently on Indian television.
We can't sit here quietly listening to all your.
Who is telling you to sit quietly? I'm telling you to speak. I'm saying to you. I'm saying to you that at one point of time.
How dare you call Manmohan Singh a puppet prime minister?
Sonia Gandhi reduced him to that. Sanjay Baru wrote it in his book. What are you blaming Arnab for? He's quoting facts.
Sanjay Baru.
He's quoting facts. Who is Sanjay Baru? Did Arnab hire Sanjay Baru?
Okay, let him be happy. Let him be happy. Let me tell him. Let him be happy.
Who tore the ordinance for Manmohan?
I have. One minute. I have every right to believe what I want, and Shyam Meka has every right to believe that Manmohan Singh was the strongest and most independent Prime Minister of India. Now the question goes to the moot issue. Ravindra, however pro-Congress you may be in your views. Yeah, Kapil is objecting as well. Kapil, what's your objection? You have muted yourself. It's your conspiracy against your voice.
I'm absolutely sorry. I'm absolutely. You should apologize to a person who has dedicated his life. We all know what he did in 1991. We all know how did he,
This is a reflection on Sonia Gandhi. Stop playing the victim card.
I'm sorry.
And I'm sorry. And come to the topic. Why is Jairam calling people terrorists?
He's trying to change the subject. He's trying to change the subject. Kapil, let me respond to you. Kapil, let me respond to you. Let me respond.
I think you should apologize.
Okay, thank you. That's you have a right to think so.
Wait, 1 second.
You have your right to think so. I have a right to listen.
When Rahul Gandhi tore the ordinance of Manmohan Singh, did he apologize?
Or when Nehru was snooping on Netaji, did he apologize? Did Nehru apologize for snooping on Netaji?
You can criticize.
You don't like my narration of history, but I have my right to put it out.
You can criticize Dr. Manmohan Singh policy. Nobody called you as a traitor when you criticized Dr. Manmohan Singh. There were students who showed black flags to Manmohan Singh. He was not arrested unless what happened, these days. Just a post and, people are arrested.
Okay, anyway, we go back. Thanks for making a very strong point. Ravindra, let me come to you. Ravindra, let's go back to the fundamental issue we are debating tonight. Jairam Ramesh, and you are sitting here with Shehzad Poonawalla. You can, your old friend. I didn't know about your friendship. Good for you. Tell me one thing. Why compare an all-party delegation with terrorists? I mean, this is just unconscionable, right? I'm going slow into the debate, but I tell you, if I open the phone lines, you'll realize how people think about this.
I agree.
Right? Should I open the phone lines? Okay, I will. In 5 minutes. Please go on. Yeah.
The first comparison which...
You tell him, don't me. You tell him.
The first comparison which was drawn after the Pahalgam attack with the terrorist was by Vijay Shah. The party has not taken any stand on this so far. No action was taken against him. He is still the minister. After that, what Jagdish Devda, the Deputy Chief Minister, has said, that has ashamed the entire country. No action has been taken so far against him. After that, what the Member Parliament from Haryana, Rajya Sabha, Ramchandra Jangda, has said, nothing has happened to him. The party the BJP has taken no action against all three of them. I think here we have to come. The party must take an action. What Jairam has said, as far as I can understand, he has raised multiple questions.
No. What is the comparison with the जो ये compare किया इन्होंने, जो इन्होंने compare कर दिया इधर आतंकवादियों के बीच में, पहलगाम के आतंकवादियों के बीच में और all party delegation के members के बीच में, उस पर तो कुछ बोलिए. You say something on that.
1 second.
They are still roaming free.
Since I'm your friend, Ravindra.
No. The question is not about roaming free. You don't compare MPs to terrorists.
Just one line.
It's a direct comparison.
Just one line. How does your purpose for whatever you narrated in the beginning, the preface, get solved by calling Supriya Sule, Kanimozi and Rajiv Rai terrorists?
Nobody is calling them terrorists.
What else did he do?
Very well.
What else did he do?
Nobody is calling them terrorists.
What was that comparison?
They are honorable member of parliament. They are representing this country all across the world.
Right.
They are...
What do you mean by roaming free? One second. As a follow-up to that question, they are at large.
No. The terrorists.
They are at large.
The terrorists.
Terrorists are at large. But MPs are at large.
Terrorists at large.
MPs are at large, which means MPs should be in custody. You want... Now he's going one step further. He wants Manish Tiwari arrested.
You know
He wants Kanimodi arrested.
The terrorists are still at large.
No, Sham.
Why are you comparing the
apprehended? अभी तक उनको पकड़ा नहीं गया है. अभी तक उनका एनकाउंटर नहीं किया गया.
किनका एनकाउंटर नहीं किया गया है? तो उनका कंपैरिजन आप एमपीज के साथ क्यों कर रहे हैं? आप सांसदों के साथ क्यों कर रहे हैं?
लोगों ने हमला किया. आज तक वो लोग फ्री घूम रहे हैं. हिंदुस्तान की 26 महिलाओं के सुहाग को जिन्होंने उगाड़ दिया, आज तक वो लोग फ्री घूम रहे हैं.
Fake and hollow.
Let me have an informed conversation.
By the way, Meka is threatening to walk out.
I know. Ravinderji, but 20 seconds.
I'm not threatening. I'm not threatening.
No, he can walk out. He can dance out.
You wait, Mr. Meka. Abhi to viewers are going to call.
Ravinderji has raised up.
I am stating what I yielded my time to you, Shehzad.
You should yield to common sense also. No, please.
Shehzad, I yielded my time to you earlier.
Sir, I'm ever so grateful. Yield your conscience to this country for a change.
Okay.
Yield your conscience to Manish Tiwari for a change, who said there was no mediation.
Phone lines will be open.
I think that would be better. Now, please, sir, to Ravinderji.
No, this is
Mr. Meka, when two adults are speaking, When two adults are...
Shahzad, this is ridiculous.
Now you felt so bad. I did not take a name, he felt bad, but MPs should not feel anything, even though they have been called terrorists by Jairam Ramesh. This is Mr. Mecca's double standard. Now you understand how they feel? Imagine what Kanimozi is feeling. Imagine what Supriya Sule is feeling. She is saying, I went for national duty, and this Jairam is calling a
official
terrorist.
Statement to ANI.
How will she sleep tonight?
It's an official statement to a news agency. He knows. Yeah. He knows it will go viral. Yeah. He has obviously thought about it. Yeah. And he wants to make Rahul Gandhi happy. Yeah. He wants to make Sonia Gandhi happy. He wants to make Robert Vadra happy. So how do you make them happy? You call Manish Tiwari a terrorist. You compare Anand Sharma to a terrorist. You compare Owaisi to a terrorist. You're going to get claps and applause from Rahul Gandhi. But do you think Ravindra, what people think about it across the country? You want to get a sample of it? I'll open my lines.
Arnab, just one line.
You want a sample? Aapko sample dikha do, logo ka kya feeling hai?
One issue.
We should open the lines.
Arnab, you are giving benefit of doubt to Jairam by saying just this.
I'm not giving a single benefit of doubt.
I'll give you explain why.
No, I'm not giving a benefit of doubt.
You know what is going to happen tomorrow, and Arnab, you mark my words. Tomorrow the Pakistanis are going to say that these people are terrorists as per Jairam Ramesh, so don't listen to them. The world should not listen to them. He has let Pakistan off the hook. He has let Pakistan off the hook. This is what Jairam Ramesh has done. I think what Jairam Ramesh has done is nothing short of treason. Nothing short of treason.
Why are you taking so much of pressure of Pakistan, what they are thinking? Why are you not asking what the people of this country are asking? Why are you not responding to that?
Sir, Pakistan the pressure, na? Pakistan the pressure 20 के बाद क्या किया था आपने?
जिन आतंकवादियों ने हमारी बहनों के सुहाग को उजाड़ा, वो लोग अभी तक क्यों नहीं मार गिराए गए? वो लोग कहाँ हैं?
Are you doubting the armed forces?
No, I'm not doubting. तो बताओ, तो कौन बताएगा? सरकार बताएगी. सरकार will tell. The government has to tell. शहजाद भाई, the government.
शहजाद और सेना.
Let the government announce.
I'm asking the Sena.
Let the government announce.
What kind of an argument is that?
Let the government of this country announce.
Confident in Ravinder's skills that you need to shout.
What kind of an argument is that?
No, sir, you will not be convinced with my argument. The nation is, you can convince Pakistan with your arguments. They are convinced. They are putting you on the media. Tomorrow you might also be on some Dawn or Fawn.
The moment a question is asked, you want to reflect that on to say
I'll tell you one thing. I want to say something now. You know, viewers, what is sad about what we are seeing tonight? That earlier, this party is the same party which said कि ये लोग कहते हैं कि बालाकोट में स्ट्राइक की मगर सबूत नहीं दिया. यही वो लोग हैं. ये same people, you were not there then, but I know the same Shyam Mika, same Rahul Gandhi came and said, and Digvijay Singh, who called Osama bin Laden Osama ji, said, where is the proof? And then you went and met the Chinese ambassador during Doklam, right? You asked for proof during Balakot. You kept running down Rafale, right? You kept running down Rafale, and today also you are claiming that we have lost planes and the Pakistanis haven't lost as much. The question here, and you're contradicting the Director General of Military Operations. You try to put the government on the back foot, but in the process of doing so, you are questioning the armed forces of the country. You try to spread fake narratives all the time. And the people of this country, Shyam Mika, are very, 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 very angry and disappointed with you. Because they thought you will change. You will never change. You will never change. And, you know, this time, let me open my lines. Shyam Mika, I think I should open the lines. You should hear the people of the country. You want to hear the people of the country, Shyam? You want to hear them?
You need to moderate properly.
I'm putting... okay, viewers, these calls are live. Everybody will be asked if I moderated their call. Bhargavi is our first caller. Bhargavi, are you live or is this some recorded call? Just can you tell us? Bhargavi, are you there, Bhargavi? You are live, right?
Yes, sir. I am very much there, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
This is a live show.
Yeah.
And it's not recorded one. So basically, if you see that Congress, Congress really support the government, and from that time, they misquoted Jaisankar's statement, and then now they are questioning the delegation, right? The Congress actually criticized Mr. Shashi Tharoor, and they really criticized him. They mocked him for his stand for standing for India.
Correct, Bhargavi. That's one point. Let's go to our next caller. And our next caller, are you listening to the calls tonight? They're all live calls. Nothing is edited. Vijay Kumar, are you there? Where are you calling from? From Kolkata?
Yes, Yes, good evening, Mr. Arnab.
Vijay ji, these people are saying that you and I have some agreement. It's a fake show. These calls are not live.
No, I am live on the TV. I am live on the TV.
There you are. Go ahead, sir.
So I have a question from pro-Congress man.
Yeah, go on.
He just argued about the BJP not taking actions on the MPs. And what about the Pawan Khera, who has called our External Affairs Minister a Gaddar? So what is his reply on that?
Ravindra, reply. Ravindra, to you.
See, Vijayji, thank you for asking the question. But the
you think you can call Foreign Minister of India Gaddar? Who's the Gaddar in calling Jaishankar a Gaddar?
No, nobody can call...
a man with such service to the country has been Foreign Secretary, India's ambassador to the US, and he's one of the best voices ever we've had as Foreign Minister. You call him a Gaddar?
He was sent to ambassador to China by the UPA, by the way.
You call him a Gaddar?
You have been calling Congress all these names.
I have not called
facts for Congress.
I have no. I have said you have an agreement with China. You have an office in Turkey. These are questions. You get nervous when I ask the question, Shyam, is it?
No, Arnab, why do you always paint Congress as some sort of...
I am not painting. You have painted. You want to hear what Jairam Ramesh said? I want to play it in that middle window again.
Yeah, I don't...
Let's play the bite again. Hear what he said again. Hear what he said again. One more. Keep us on air and run it by.
In the same way as Jairam.
Run it.
Okay?
यानी कि ये जो पहलगाम के आतंकवादी हैं उन्होंने 4 आतंकी हमले कराए हैं 18 महीने में। आज वहां यहां वहां घूम रहे हैं, हमारे सांसद भी यहां वहां घूम रहे हैं, और आतंकवादी भी यहां वहां घूम रहे हैं।
आतंकवादी एमपी आतंकवादी।
यही तो गंभीरता से हम ये सवाल पूछ रहे हैं, इन सवालों का जवाब नहीं देते हैं।
See that? You saw that? You saw that? It's a shame, man.
No, but you don't you want that...
I don't know why you do
all
this.
the perpetrators.
Are they asked that question now? Why are you asking about MPs being compared to them?
Shehzad bhai, don't...
you can't take on Shehzad.
Don't you want all the terrorists to be hanged? Don't you want?
No, can I answer? Can I answer? 26/11 was planned in a camp of Muridke. Why did you take that camp out? Who took it out now? By 1 second. Sir, I was hearing you. Sir, I was hearing you. Very well. Ravindra ji, I was hearing you. Bahawalpur क्या 14 के बाद बना क्या? Why didn't you take out Bahawalpur camp? Tell me 9 terrorist camps were they existing before Modi came on? No? We destroyed the headquarters. आप तो sharpshooter की बात कर रहे हो, हमने तो gang leaders को मारा. But I am saying that today, why are you comparing our parliament, elected parliament, to terrorists? And you know what, sir? Just 10 seconds more. 828 square kilometers of India were given to Pakistan in 1968. Can you explain why? You wanted to give our nuclear technology to Pakistan. You wanted to give advanced troop movements to Pakistan. And 1971, when we could take POK, Babu Jagjivan Ram said do it. United States pressured us and we gave up.
Everyone top members.
Why, sir? No. Today there's a Ronald Reagan letter to Rajiv Gandhi saying that I will decide the terms of the discussion between India and Pakistan. Would you say Gaddari? Would you say Gaddari? No, Trump did nothing. Trump's own court has rejected his contention. Trump's court has rejected his contention. DGMO, don't you believe the DGMO?
The entire country is still waiting. The entire country is still waiting. What is the response of the government of India?
What response? The government of India should not give a response to such unadulterated garbage.
What were the
no, sir, you told me.
Laid down for us? We are still waiting for the response.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're waiting for the response? Because you don't want to mess with facts when it comes to facts. Can I now give you some facts? By the way, do you know that this entire point has been clarified by the MEA? It has been clarified by... One second. I'm telling you the dates.
With the verses.
Please listen to the dates also. In 10th of May, Vikram Misri. 11th of May, it has been done by Randir Jaiswal. 12th of May by the Prime Minister. 22nd of May by the Foreign Affairs Minister. Once again by the Prime Minister twice, whether he was in Bikaner or in Gujarat. And apart from that, it's been done by Tharoor and Manish Tiwari. The bite was played.
I was present in all the MEA briefings.
And did you not hear it?
And he did not say.
Should I quote what he said?
I am asking.
Should I quote what he said? Oh, yeah. Randir Jaiswal, there is no question of any intervention. Vikram Misri, the matter was decided...
This is about the Kashmir, sir.
Sir,
this is about the Kashmir.
Okay, let me quote the Prime Minister. Let me quote the Prime Minister. पाकिस्तान ने भीख मांगते हुए वहाँ के डीजीएमओ ने हमारे डीजीएमओ से बात की 12th May प्राइम मिनिस्टर संबोधन.
हमने भीख दे दी.
नहीं भीख तो आपने दी. One minute. Let me come in now. 1 minute. Ravindra. I'll tell you one thing.
आप सियाचिन
26/11 के बाद 1 minute. 26/11 के बाद you should have attacked Pakistan.
Yeah.
After 26/11, you should have attacked Pakistan. What has been done on the 6th, between the 6th and the 10th of May 2025, you should have done, sir, between the 1st and the 7th of December 2008, but you chose not to. Shiv Shankar Menon said, we will gain nothing by attacking Pakistan. We will gain more by not attacking Pakistan. And you people have always said, oh, Pakistan is a nuclear country. Modi says, I'm not going to take nuclear blackmail. Manishankar Aiyar says, don't forget they have atom bombs. In 8 seconds, the radiation will reach Amritsar. This is not my language. This is the language of the Congress party. It is the language of weakness. It is the language of a party that has never wanted to take on Pakistan, that has compromised their national interests. Why did you not suspend the Indus Waters Treaty?
Let me say there was enormous pressure on me at that time. I resisted that pressure, and I think the decisions that I and our government took was unbalanced.
And let me tell you more, I am never going to be a fan of late Dr. Manmohan Singh. One minute. You people say we take offense at your comments on Manmohan Singh.
After the parliament attack.
Well, let me tell you, after the twin blast that had happened in Jammu, Manmohan Singh said such attacks will not succeed in derailing our efforts to find a resolution to all problems through a process of dialogue. Which means every time in this country there was a terrorist attack, the Congress said, don't worry. Peace process chalta rahega. Aman ki asha chalti rahegi. And you people have the gall to question what the army is doing. I expect a proper apology, Sham, from people like you.
Why?
Jairam Ramesh will not have the courage to face me, that's why. Jairam Ramesh won't face me. Rahul Gandhi, if he sees me, I think he'll run at 1,000 kilometers per hour after what I spoke to him like and exposed him in 2014. He'll run away, I know that, right?
After that, he became the opposition leader of the country, and you became from #1 anchor to #1 Godi media.
And now that's why you are sitting here asking for me to come on my show. And this, whatever you call Godi media, let me tell you, Republic is the most popular network in Asia, in the largest newsroom of the continent, right? What do you people do? Now tell me one thing. You must explain today. Today I will not let him go. He wants to run away right now. He's looking for an excuse to say, I'm going to run away. You tell me, why did you compare MPs with terrorists? Simple question.
He did not compare.
Yeah, you did. Shiv Narayan is there from Bhopal. Shiv Narayan ji?
As simple
Shiv Narayan ji, are you there?
Hi, Arnab.
Do you believe this Congress has compared MPs with terrorists through what Jairam said?
Arnab, first of all, I am from Bhopal, but right now I am in Brazil and I am listening your debate from Brazil, Sao Paulo. It is like 1:30 a.m. in the morning in Brazil, and I'm listeing your debate from Brazil.
Our viewer calling from Brazil tonight. Shiv Narayan ji, thank you.
Yes. And I must speak my point, because these MPs from Congress, which are on your debate, they are trying to be very foolish, because their own MP, Shashi Tharoor and Manish Tiwari, exposed them. Their own MP exposed them very accurately, and they are playing this game. Why they are doing so? Because they have an office in Turkey, they have an agreement with China, and they have to, sell the things with Turkey and China, and Pakistan is allowing them to sell. This is why they are doing this thing, and they are, they are making foolish out of Congress party, the oldest party of the Congress, oldest party of the India. They are making fool of the party. They don't have a point to talk to the audience. They don't have a point to talk with the people of the country, because I'm telling you, next 20, 30 years, Congress will not come into the power, because it is their behavior. They are hurting the sentiment of the people of the country. And it is a worldwide scenario, because I am here in Brazil. I travel to almost all world. The narrative with my friends in Brazil, Europe, and Africa, what they're saying. What are you talking? Your own, party, your own very oldest party. They are trying to make statements which object what you have achieved. This is what I am able to listen into Europe, Brazil, and in Africa. But as an Indian citizen and as a country as a whole, we know how my armed forces, how my Prime Minister has made us proud. And this is the statement which has been believed by across the country in the world. Because I am traveling to all the country in the world, and they are making very strong statements that yes, you have done the right thing. You have countered China, you have countered Pakistan, you have even countered USA at this point of time.
Shiv Narayan ji, if you speak another 3 sentences, then Mr. Mika is going to cry. Mr. Mika, but this is the reality. This is how people feel about your party. You've taken such a bad line. You called it chutput. Sandeep from Ghaziabad, can you forgive the Congress for calling it a chutput war? And Sandeep,
I can never forget them. My name is Sandeep Kaul. I'm the first victim from the of Kashmir, one of the first ones. My father was on the hit list, and trust me, we guys will never ever forget what they've done to us. And this party has no right whatsoever in nature to talk all this on national podiums. They should not be given even the seats in the studios of yours.
But Sandeep, we have to expose them. This kind of things. I am also not interested in taking the comments of Jairam Ramesh and making it into a big issue. But if I can't underplay it either.
That's true.
You will agree with me. I can't underplay it. There has to be introspection. Genuine introspection.
Shyam
Today people are disappointed and angry.
Shyam Meka in the starting of the debate said, I won't choose the words Jairam did, and then he's defending it.
He can't defend
He also understands it's wrong. And secondly, Shyam Meka ji, sadak ka gunda to bola tha na Sena Pramukh ko, कि वो भी भूल गए.
Can't disown that.
Army is sadak ka gunda.
It's a relentless pattern. Relentless pattern.
Congress, देखिए Congress, look at Congress. Sena is sadak ka gunda. Parliament, Sansad is terrorist. And Rahul is God. Rahul is God. Nehru ji. But sadak ka gunda is Sena. And Sansad is terrorist. Kyun Shyam ji, correct hai na equation? Nehru is God.
Shyam is personally tired of defending the indefensible comments of the Congress leaders. I find him more Manish Tiwari than Rahul Gandhi.
Being the God is the Modi ji's territory.
Anyways,
that's not what
Shyam, you have no conviction today in your voice. Tell me, there's no conviction.
Come on.
There's nothing in the heart. Even Ravindra today, from being pro-Congress, has turned almost neutral in this debate. Naturally, so you should be like that. But it's good to see you today. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of comments, a lot of calls still coming in. And while I have no interest in debating the Congress because it's an irresponsible party, I have to bring these matters to national light. So we come together as one. Nation first. No compromise. I wish the Congress understood that too. See you tomorrow. Good night and goodbye.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
Powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho Befikar.
Amity has been ranked India's #1 not-for-profit private university for 11th year, with top 10 ranked institutions in management, engineering, biotech, law, mass comm, telecom, hospitality, fashion and more. Yet another top ranking for Amity University.
पैसा लगाना है तो सेंचुरी प्लाई क्लब प्राइम पे लगाओ. डूबेगा नहीं, जलेगा भी नहीं, कोई खा नहीं जाएगा, धोखा नहीं देगा, ऊपर नीचे भी नहीं होगा, सेफ रहेगा, सिक्योर्ड में मिनिमम 30 साल का रिटर्न देगा. अब इससे बेटर इन्वेस्टमेंट है तो बताओ. सेंचुरी